On a previous video, we loaded up the Chevy Truck so we can part it out. Well, there she be. She loaded up. Welcome back to the channel. We are gonna start pulling. Well, I already started, but we're gonna continue pulling this motor out of the Chevy 2500. Let me give you the backstory on this truck. We got this truck for free from a friend, and I knew it had the 6.0. There's something wrong with the engine. I'm hoping it's not a dead cylinder, but we're gonna look into that a little bit later after we pull this motor. We did do a video on this truck about a year or so ago while trying to get it running. And we did. We got the truck running again after sitting for a few years, but it has a bad misfire. It's running. Oh, she wants a party. But that's not going to stop us from pulling the motor, and we are going to put it in our future project. I will get to that in a minute, but I want to give you the backstory on this truck. I originally wanted it for the motor, LS 6.0, and I thought that it had the 14 bolt in the rear of this truck, to find out that there is a 3/4 ton 14 bolt, which it doesn't have the floating axles, which isn't really much of an upgrade. I wanted the 14 bolt to put in a future Jeep project for off-roading, but now the axle is no good to us, so our main focus is pulling this motor. What I didn't know that I wanted from this truck is a few items. Let me show you. In here, it had a brake controller for trailer brakes. So that's a score. It has Hydro Boost brakes on it. We can use the hydro pump from the steering with the hydro brakes on our future project for this motor. Or if not, those are always good to have around for future projects. The latest item that I didn't know that I wanted, and it ended up working pretty well, was on our last video where we robbed the fleet sides off of this truck for the burnout beater. So we skinned the box from this truck and threw it on our burnout beater for the truck bed on the Durango, which ended up turning out to be well, it was good enough. Another item that we stole was the radiator, and these wheels might buff out all right to be a keeper as well. So as you can tell, we've already done some work to this to get where we're at now. So let's continue to take the front apart while it's nice out, and we got a teeny little garage, so this thing barely fits in here. So let's focus on cutting all this front out, and then we got to get underneath and take the drivetrain out so we can yank this 6.0 and get it to my buddy's place for him to start going through the motor to put into the future project. Yes, you ask what the future project is. If you watched the last video, we talked about it. This 6.0 is going to go in a Chevy LUV that we have. Got a roll bar cage in it, and we really don't know the backstory of it, but the future of it is going to be an LS burnout machine. So let's get to pulling this 6.0 out so we can get it in the Chevy LUV. This is pretty cool. There's a little cooler for the power steering. Definitely gonna keep that. It's time to bust out the skill saw and start hacking the front of that truck up so we can just yank that motor out the front. Much easier. Wait, we don't need the reciprocating saw. There's 3 bolts to take that radiator support off. So there's 3 bolts right underneath here on each side. And then this radiator support comes right off. That's much easier. Well, we got most of the top end done. We got the electronics off. We got the fuel system disconnected. The only thing left on the electronics is the starter. We'll have to crawl underneath and do that. Yeah, so I guess we have to crawl underneath now. Well, I thought it'd be a good idea to go underneath the dash and try to get that hydro boost off and do the throttle cable. You know, quick job. I don't know. I don't fit under the dash with my big hands and my big frame. So that took like an hour. Now it's time to call her night. And now we'll tackle this maybe in a couple days because guy's got a job. So yeah, got the brake booster, got the hydro booster out. So that was fun. It leaks, but you know, it'll be a good core. I mean, it looks like it's leaked. Plus whatever issue the previous owner was having with it because it's missing the brake reservoir. But we got a core. I'm gonna go hit the hay and we'll get back to this in seconds for you. All right, it's been a couple days since we've worked on the free truck. I snuck out here in the morning. We are leaving for a family vacation this weekend, a little getaway. But I wanna pull the brake assembly and the throttle assembly because it's all one unit. I think that would work mint in the LUV, but the steering column's in my way. So I guess that's just a bonus. We don't need the steering column, but maybe in a future project, we'll need a steering column. Plus we can grab the steering links out of here because those are always useful with the U-joints on them. All right, let's get in this cab and sneak these parts out quick before we gotta go on vacation. This unit's gonna be sweet if we can get it to fit under that LUV. Because that LUV is a little truck. This assembly might be as big as that truck, but it's got everything we need. The brakes on it with the hydro boost, and then we got the throttle cable. We can reuse the throttle cable and the pedal. We might have to like shorten the pedal up a little bit, but I think that'll work pretty good. Everything's there. Because in the LUV, there's nothing there. So this is already much better. At least we have pedals if nothing else works. Another thing, if you don't have this tool in your arsenal, you need it. It's a PVC cutter and it's kind of wicked how it opens, but I've been cutting so many things with this. As you can see, it's all marked up and it still cuts. I've been cutting wire bundles with it, heater hoses, radiator hoses, just keeps cutting. I think it's pretty reasonable too at like a hardware store. PVC cutter. You gotta get yourself one. All right, the wife woke up, so we better put this project to the side and get ready for our vacation. All right, see you guys on the backside of our vacation, which for you will be very soon. Yeah, we're back at it. We're trying to get the drivetrain pulled out of this free truck of ours. So we started with pulling the rear drive shaft. Now we got to pull the front drive shaft, but we just pulled the exhaust out. So we got the exhaust pulled out. And look at this. We got some cherry bombs. It's mid-October, actually late October. It's 80 degrees out and sweating. Don't like it. But let's get back underneath this free truck and pull the T-case. Well, before pulling the T-case, I thought I better pull the pipes off the manifolds quick in that cross pipe. This pipe came off the manifold flange pretty easy. Wonder why. Yeah, don't worry, I haven't done the T-case yet. But I am taking the torque converter bolts off. I wanted to show you guys this little trick. So we took the inspection cover off. Then we threw the bolt back in to one of the inspection cover holes. Now we can move the flywheel with a long pry bar. Now you can move the flywheel by using that bolt as leverage. All right, let's get all these torque converter bolts out. Then we can go back to the T-case.
They're real sharp.
Well, we did it. We got the motor out, pulled the tranny out, got the T-case out, and now the old truck can go to the junkyard. We washed the motor up, we degreased the motor, and then I sent it over to my buddies. He's gonna start tearing into it and see if he finds any surprises. If not, we're gonna just probably put a mild cam in it and run it. Throw a turbo on it and put it in that Chevy LUV. As always, thanks for watching, and until next time.